Right on top of Robert Helenius' feet. What we call for all night, guys, and like I said before, he has the same power capabilities as Deontay Wilder. This is why it's the most exciting fight to make in the world of boxing right now. Let feet get close, he lets that right hand go, bang, it's good night against anybody.
And he landed that earlier in the fight than you said. It landed on his beard and just needed to step there.
Great to see. Robert Helenius is an absolute warrior. Never underestimate this man. He deserves all the credit in the world. He stepped in on 7 days' notice and faced one of the most destructive heavyweight punches of all time, in my opinion. And he didn't think twice about it. I give him all the respect and credit in the of all days' notice and faced one of the most destructive heavyweight punches of all time, in my opinion. And he didn't think twice about it. I give him all the respect and credit in the world.
What's going on, people? It's your man, the YB, back once again. Big shout out to my doggy Clates for coming through and boosting up the coin. So, we just tragically heard there from the bell end. Unbelievable, people. Truly unbelievable. He starts off by saying, based on Joshua versus Helenius, that it's clear to see that AJ has as much power as Deontay Wilder. Now, I'm not even sold on Deontay Wilder's power, but come on, people. Let's assume that let's assume all of Wilder's fights aren't fixed, yeah, for a moment. Because none of us really know either way, do we? Let's be real here. So let's assume that AJ's fights are legit and Wilder's fights are legit. There's no question. Yeah, who here thinks AJ would put Fury down? I don't. No, not in a month of Sundays would AJ, not this fight in this way. Yeah, back in the day when AJ was letting his hands go, but even then, even when AJ was letting his hands go, he wasn't a devastating puncher. And even in the days when I was on the AJ bandwagon, I never believed AJ had more snap than Wilder. AJ has that bludgeoning power. He can beat someone up, like Canelo, like Mike Tyson. You know what I mean? It takes, yeah, they can all get one punch KOs, but they're better at bludgeoning people than they are just clipping them. So like I said, even in AJ's prime, he ain't punching like Wilder. How many one punch KOs does AJ have? It wasn't Vlad. It wasn't Dillian White. Again, but that was it was a fight, wasn't it? So, listen. That for me wasn't even the worst part. Yeah, if you want to, well, it's bad. It does sound bad to say that. I mean, just compare the fights. Wilder went in there and hit this guy with the first shot that landed and smoked Helenius. AJ was in there making a meal out of it. And I believe even if Wilder hadn't have caught Helenius early, he wouldn't have got a bloody lip. He wouldn't have got a bloody nose. And he wouldn't have got a bus eye. Yeah? And people say Wilder can't box. AJ's supposed to be the boxer. He the one with a dodgy eye, a dodgy lip, a dodgy nose. After being in there with a dude on 1 week's notice. At least Helenius had a full camp to fight Wilder. Plus Helenius spars Wilder, so he should really know his way around the ring against Wilder. In theory, it should be harder to KO your sparring partner, because he knows what you like to do. AJ in there with a dude on 1 week's notice, making hard work of it. And I wouldn't mind Bellew, and I actually gave Bellew during the fight commentary, yeah, I gave Bellew a lot of credit. Why? He was being pretty fair. He was saying, listen, this is whack. Yeah, AJ needs to let his hands go. Both Andy Lee and Bellew. But the minute the KO came, Bellew changed up. Oh, no word of a lie. He starts saying, I told you this was going to happen. I told you that would happen. What? A minute ago you were saying AJ looking like he's finished. And now you're on the bandwagon again. And there's a lot of guys like this. Oh, no doubt, Bellew, you're right, Josh, mate. You're right, Josh. Yeah, you're right, Josh, mate. You know what I mean? It's just fake. Don't be fake. This guy was a dude on 1 week. Oh, Helenius is a warrior. Only AJ's magical Thanos power could possibly have knocked him out. What? Bellend, were you watching the fight for the first 6 rounds? Where was all this magical Thanos greatest punch of all time? Do you know what I mean? And that was the one that got me. AJ's in the top most explosive fighters of all time. I think did he say alongside Mike Tyson or something like that as well? He might as well have done. Like, no. Absolutely not, people. If AJ was one of the most explosive punchers of all time, a 200-pound man, Usyk, wouldn't have come up and punched him up. Yeah? Impossible. It's like, I don't know, it's like Bivol. It's like Canelo going up and fighting Bivol. Bivol isn't a power puncher, but that's what happens, people. Yeah? In fact, it's worse because Usyk jumped up 20%. Yeah, he jumped up 200 pounds, 220, 240, 25%. AJ 250. He jumped up 25%. That's like Canelo going from what? 154 plus 25%, which is what? £30, about £40. That's like Canelo going to 195, people. Do you understand that? That's how mad that is. Canelo can't even handle 175, never mind 195. That's how much advantage AJ had. And despite that advantage and being the most powerful puncher of all time, he got punched up. So don't tell me about AJ's power. Yeah, no man with power. And we'll see what happens with Wilder. I'd like to think Wilder would catch Usyk with something. Enough to get a few knockdowns. But again, yeah, I'd expect something from Wilder in that fight. If Wilder goes in there slinging, he should be able to put it on Usyk and win that fight, in my opinion. Would I bet on it? Probably. Just for the... at least Wilder should have a go. That's what... all I want to see is someone have a go against Usyk. Chisora, who's finished, had a go against Usyk, and Usyk looked average. Do you understand? Wilder go in there, yeah, and just slinging it. Winging it off. He should get it done. Not a stoppage necessarily, but he should just butcher him with it. Ping, ping, ping. Especially a southpaw as well. That's Wilder all day in theory. Look at Ortiz. Again, let's assume that Wilder's KOs are legit. Ortiz, you know what I mean, he's supposed to be quite slick. Southpaw, whoop, ping, game over. You understand? AJ, he doesn't have that power. Because it's not just Usyk who knows that. Andy Ruiz knows that. Yeah, Mr. Blobby didn't even train for the rematch. AJ didn't do anything with him. Who else is there? Pulev, 50-year-old Pulev. AJ didn't do nothing with. Took him all night. About the most... I'm sorry, yeah, but if you know the game, it's a disrespect to say AJ is one of the most devastating punchers of all time. No, absolutely not. And definitely not taking this fight as something. You was just slagging the guy off 2 minutes ago, and now you're back on the bandwagon, Tony. Come on, grow some backbone. You should have been saying, hey, listen, I've been slagging this guy off for 6 rounds, and it's about time he did what he's supposed to do. That's all that needed to be said, people. That's where they should have stayed. That's where they should have been left. I'm glad AJ finally did what he's supposed to do. Don't throw in the, he's as devastating as Wilder, which is not, categorically, as I've just explained. Oh, it's the biggest punch of all time, which is not, as I've just explained. Why do you have to do that for? Just be consistent. Hey, listen. Yeah, you were going life and death 60-40 with Helenius, and you landed the punch you were supposed to land 4 rounds ago. Well done for doing that. That's it. How do these guys go from this? How you know they're bandwagon guys? Yeah, Tony Bellew, he one of them groupie dudes. He wanted to be on a tour bus. If AJ had a tour bus, if AJ was touring the UK, Tony would do anything to get on that bus. Yeah? If some Donny from 258 Management said, listen, we ain't really got no space on the tour bus, but if you follow me into the lavatory and unzip my zipper and nibble on the end of my jab, I'll get you on the bus. Tony would go into that lavatory, unzip the zipper, and he'd be giving it the Nemo. For sure. That's just Tony for you. You've heard it. Not me. Nothing to do with me. You heard what he said. Yeah? This guy going life and death with Helenius, and all of a sudden it's all magical because he knocked out a dude on 1 week's notice. No. Yeah? No, Tony. There's nothing greatest of all time about what we just saw. Not at all. Do you know what I'm saying? It was looking like, truth be known, it was looking like the greatest flop of all time. From all, until the knockout came, yeah, It was looking like one of the greatest flops of all time. AJ's in there having a real boxing match with a dude on 1 week's notice. Do you know what I'm saying? Just get off. Or be consistent. I wouldn't mind it so much if Tony was critical, or if Tony was, during the first 6 rounds, if he was saying, oh, AJ's looking fabulous. AJ's using his boxing brain. AJ, you know the Eddie Hearn shtick. Eddie Hearn's come out saying, oh, AJ's maturing in his boxing and his IQ. And if Tony had to come out with that one, I'd say, okay. He's also lost his head. Do you understand? But to be critical and then jump on the bandwagon, no, that's just bad. It's a bad look. It means you're flip-floppy. Yeah? You're just trying to chase the wave here. Ooh, wait there, you got a knockout now. Ooh, I wonder if AJ will give me an interview after this one. Ooh, you know what I mean? Like, no, it's cringy. I found it cringe. Anyway, I want to know your thoughts. Do you think, based on this performance, AJ is the most destructive puncher of all time? Yeah? I want to know. Do you think, based on this performance, AJ, we can conclude AJ's as explosive as Wilder? I can't do it. And again, I don't even rate Wilder like that. He's still unproven to me. I need to see him knock AJ Spark out or knock Usyk Spark out. And then I'll say, yeah, he's legitimately probably the biggest puncher of all time. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button, subscribe, and leg off the 100%, no doubt.